What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about some Atlanta Falcons news and notes, and then I also would like to talk about linebacker Foye Oluokun. But with that being said, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I appreciate all of you guys for continuing to tune into the channel. Continue to help me grow the channel. Of course, the goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can start doing the live videos. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So, some quick Atlanta Falcons news and notes. If you haven't heard, over the last couple of days, the Falcons are opening their facilities back up. This Tuesday, the facilities will be open back up. From what I'm hearing, it's no more than 50% capacity when they open they reopen Flowery Branch. I'm just excited to finally see the facility starting to be open back up, because as you know, due to the pandemic and due to the spread of COVID-19, the NFL had closed all of their facilities, and it's good to see that we are making baby steps towards reopening everything up, and we headed towards a new football season. So hopefully by the time it's time for preseason games and training camp and stuff like that, everything has opened back up and we've stopped the spread of this COVID-19. But I'm very excited about the baby steps that we're making to finally have the football season beginning. But with that being said, I would like to talk about linebacker Foye Oluokun. As you know, he will be taking the place and becoming the starter opposite Deion Jones for Devonta Campbell, who signed with the Arizona Cardinals in free agency. I am a big fan of Foye Oluokun. He is a very athletic linebacker like Deion Jones, very fast. He did play his college ball at the University of Yale in the Ivy League. Foye Oluokun goes about 6'2", 220 pounds. He is, like I said, one of the leaner linebackers, like a Deion Jones. Very fast, has a ton of speed, and is a very good tackler. I do think that Foye Oluokun is going to be better in coverage than a player like a Devonta Campbell, especially in man-to-man situations and in zone situations. Being that he did play some safety at the University of Yale, I believe that his ball skills and his man coverage skills are better than a Devonta Campbell. I think the strengths of Devonta Campbell were being a thumper, being a bigger linebacker that could come downhill in the run game and make a ton of tackles, and to be able to make tackles in open space. But I do think that a Foye Oluokun is going to be an upgrade over a Devonta Campbell at that linebacker position next to Deion Jones, just due to his great athleticism and his great speed. Also, with us adding the beef up front with Marlon Davidson, Tyler Davidson, Allen Bailey, all of those guys that we've added up front, I really think that that's going to help Deion Jones and also Foye Oluokun stay clean, meaning that they're not going to have a ton of offensive linemen getting to the second level and making blocks on them in the running game. And I do expect Deion Jones and Foye Oluokun to have over 100 tackles this season. You might think of, why do I say 100 tackles? Or that number might be kind of high, you may be thinking. But if you remember back in 2018 when Deion Jones went down with injury, I believe he broke his foot. Foye Oluokun was a rookie, and he stepped right in at the that Mike linebacker position, and he ended the season with 91 tackles, which was very impressive for a player to be thrown right into the fire as a rookie. He did a very good job of coming in and playing that Mike linebacker spot, calling the plays with the mic in his helmet. He did an excellent job in coverage, and I do think, like I said, that he will be a lot better in coverage than a Devonta Campbell. I do think that Foye Oluokun is a little bit more cerebral and more of he's a kind of a smarter player than a Devonta Campbell. Devonta Campbell was a guy that see ball, get ball. Not saying that he wasn't a smart player, but I just think Foye Oluokun does a better job at diagnosing plays. And I think that Foye Oluokun proved in his rookie year that he could be a valuable asset, to our team. Now, I definitely think Foye Oluokun will do a good job at filling that role of Devonta Campbell, but I think that we may get a little bit more production out of that position. I do expect Foye Oluokun to have a couple interceptions, and I also think that it's going to be huge to have a better coverage linebacker on our team due to the teams, the NFL and the way it is today, with teams trying to exploit the middle of the field, throwing the ball to running backs and throwing the ball to tight ends. Nowadays in the current NFL, it's very important to have linebackers that are fast and that can cover in man coverage or zone coverage, and guys that are excellent tacklers in space. And I do think that Foye Oluokun and Deion Jones are both excellent tacklers and tacklers in space. To me, I do think that Foye Oluokun was an excellent special teams player as well for us last year. If you remember the game against the Saints, Foye Oluokun recovered 2 onside kicks. He does a good job of going after the football, trying to swat the football or football or strip the football out of defenders' hands. And I definitely could see Foye Oluokun having a couple of forced fumbles and a couple of interceptions this season, plus have 100 tackles or more. I do think that, like I said, that he is an upgrade over Devonta Campbell, also because he's still under his rookie contract. He was a lot cheaper than a Devonta Campbell, so I definitely think that we made the correct decision not to break the bank for Devonta Campbell. I do think that Devonta Campbell is a solid player. I think he did a good job last year of leading the team in tackles, but I don't think that Devonta Campbell is a player that is irreplaceable. I definitely think that Foye Oluokun is going to do an excellent job in the absence of Devonta Campbell, and I really could see, like I said, our coverage being improved. If you remember last season, it was a ton of times, especially early on in the season, when Devonta Campbell looked confused. He didn't do a good job in coverage when he was dropping back in that cover 3 soft zone. Sometimes he was dropping way too far back. I know it was a game against the Cardinals last year where Brian Baldinger broke down the tape of our Atlanta Falcons defense, and he showed our linebackers drop back like 20 to 30 yards and leave a running back open, wide open in the flats, which is a no-no. So I do think this year, our linebackers are going to play a lot better. I do think that Foye Oluokun is going to do, like I said, an excellent job at coming in and filling that Devonta Campbell role. And I also think that we added a lot of depth at linebacker in the offseason. We did a good job of bringing in guys to compete and not just give the job to Foye Oluokun, but have them guys compete. Michael Walker was brought in the draft. Edmund Robinson was another guy that was brought in from the XFL. Now, when it comes to those 2 players in particular, I think Edmund Robinson is going to be more of a blitzer off the edge, and Michael Walker, he's another guy that I think could possibly come in and challenge Foye Oluokun for that position, because he's another guy that's hyper athletic. But I believe that at the end of the day, Foye Oluokun is going to get that starting role just because he's been groomed the last 3 seasons up under Devonta Campbell, so he should be ready to play. And I do think that Foye Oluokun is going to shock a lot of people with how smart and how good of a player that he is. I really think that our linebacker play is going to go up tremendously. I think those guys are going to have more tackles for loss because of their speed. Him and Deion Jones do a good job of penetrating in the backfield, and they can use their speed to get around blocks. And I think that on our home games, when we're playing on turf, that's just going to make our defense and our linebackers even faster. But like I said, if one of those dudes happen to get injured, I do think that we did a better job this year of going out and adding depth at all of the positions on defense and on offense. And I definitely think that Michael Walker could come in and have an impact. Edmund Robinson could come in and have an impact. Really, I think that Michael Walker, I didn't see a ton of tape on him where he's standing up as a traditional linebacker. I think he can be used as an edge rusher, kind of like Zach Bond, or kind of like those outside linebackers. I think that's the role that Michael Walker is going to have. It's going to be mainly getting after the quarterback. I don't see him being a player that's going to drop in coverage a lot or try to cover someone man-to-man like a running back or tight end. I really think that role is now going to be a Foye Oluokun's job to try to cover tight ends one-on-one down the field and be able to keep up and run with them and also cover running backs out of the backfield. But I do think that Foye Oluokun is prepared. He's been preparing and he is prepared for this upcoming season. And if he balls out, I could definitely see Foye Oluokun getting another contract with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not too sure if his deal is over this year or next year, but I definitely think Foye Oluokun could possibly be with our Atlanta Falcons for years to come if he balls out next to Deion Jones this season. But I do expect great things from Foye Oluokun. As far as Edmund Robinson's, like I said, I think he's another guy that's going to be like a thumper and someone that we blitz off the edge. And I kind of think that that's why the Atlanta Falcons didn't necessarily go after their edge in the draft, because Michael Walker pretty much is an edge player. And Edmund Robinson, if you go back and watch him in the XFL, he was another guy that was blitzing a lot and was a guy that come downhill as a thumper. So I definitely think that Foye Oluokun is the most versatile out of those young guys. But I definitely think that he'll be a guy that's going to really open a lot of people's eyes. And I really think that our coverage on defense on that second level is really going to improve with having those two guys, Deion Jones and Foye Oluokun, that can fly. But you guys let me know what you think about the video. What you think about Foye Oluokun. Do you think Foye Oluokun, is it good that we have him as our starter? Do you think that he's going to eventually get beat out by one of these younger guys? Personally, I think that unless he gets injured, I don't foresee Foye Oluokun being beat out for that Devonta Campbell the outside linebacker position or the will linebacker position. I do think that he's going to end up winning that position, and him and Deion Jones are going to really be able to wreak havoc and use that speed, use that killer speed against offenses. But with that being said, this has been your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. You definitely can leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, of Foye Oluokun, what you think of Michael Walker, and what do you think of Edmund Robinson. But with that being said, I'm going to holler at you guys. And as always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.